Folks, I thought I had done a video about this, but I was looking and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I guess I either erased it or something. But it's Embraceable You by George Gershwin. I remember listening to a Barry Harris workshop, so I wrote down some of his chords. I've been playing this song for a couple of weeks, so I don't know why I don't have a video about it. Anyway, here we go. We're going to use the chart. I'm going to put some reharms on the chart. And some of them I didn't understand at first, but now I get them and I will explain them to you. So we start off with, all right, now you can use a little diminished chord there if you want to. Here we're going to use a 2-5 of C sharp, minor 7 flat 5. Now why does that work? C, F sharp should go to B minor, right? Not to A minor. Not sure about that one, but it sounds good, so we're just going to use it. And here we have an E flat 7, which is going to go to D7, but it doesn't go there directly. It goes to the 2 chord that precedes a D7. So it's an unusual change to go from E flat to an A minor, but if you figure that that's going to a D next, so you've got E flat to D, and that's cycle of fifths with tritone substitution. When you go down a half step like that, it's the same as like A7 to D, A7 to D, or E flat 7 to D. But like I said, we're going to A minor. And then this is like a typical Barry Harris thing in that instead of the D7, you can use like any of these, they're minor thirds apart. An F7, an A flat 7, or even a B7. I don't know if the B7 would work. Let's try it. It kind of works, but the F works better. And here's a tritone substitution. And then a nice big G chord. Be major 7th or 6, up to you. And here he plays a 2-5-1. It looks like on the chart it's a minor 7 flat 5, which barely supports that 9. So if we make it a dominant chord, then it's a flat 9. And I put the flat 13 in, or no, that's a regular 13. And I altered that B7 also. Here, the way I do it is like that. And this E minor 6 could also be a C sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is going to give us the 2-5-1 that we need to get to B minor. So and this B flat plus could just be thought of as something like that. But I think it'd be better to, instead of putting the B flat down here, put it as part of the chord. Make it a minor major 7 chord, the spooky one. So you got this. And then Barry does this great thing. All right. So a crazy way to get to D, and I've gone over this a lot before, is to do a 2-5-1, but this is a 2-5-1 also, right? Because that's the tritone substitution of the A, and what precedes that? Up a fifth, B flat, so B flat, E flat. So he goes like that. But first he goes this one, and then that one. All right, and you have to voice that carefully, or it's going to sound terrible. And here the D sharp diminished Now you're allowed to add a note a whole step above, but this is just a half step, so it's pretty awkward there. So I just made it a C minor, right? And then another tritone sub, and it's that same thing, you know. It's E flat. It's going to D, but we just take a little detour there first. That's a real common reharm there. If you're going to the 4 chord, put this in front of the D minor. So E minor, E flat 7, D minor 11, and then that's just such a great way of doing that. And just moving the outer notes there. I think a better way there is just E minor, and then go to the 7th, and then right to the A7. All right, and I put, you know, a rootless voicing there, and I played a whole step above. All right, this is very typical when you're over in whatever key you're in. If you're on the 2 chord, you play an unaltered dominant, and then put that super triad up there. All right. And there is one altered tension there, the sharp 11, but it kind of comes in the category of an unaltered dominant. And then here at the end, I like that, you know, this is a classical thing, you know. You're getting close to the end, you're on the root chord, put the 5 in the bass. Sheet music is in the description. When you're down there, hit the like button, and thanks a lot, everyone.